It's that time of year, folks. We're going to be getting Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl so soon. And looks like some of the companies have had some hands-on experience with the games. And we're going to look at the previews of those right now from big companies such as IGN and Game Explained. They got quite a lot of footage to go through, so let's get to it. This one's the IGN one, which is short, 4 minutes.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl are finally
Let's have a
getting their
check.
much-requested remakes. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will bring the series back to the Sinnoh region for the first time since 2009.
Are we familiar with this area?
Featuring
The mines?
intended to evoke the look and feel of the classic games in the series. But do
Nice
they still
animations.
hold up after all these years? Here's how we feel after seeing it for ourselves.
That was a wild Pokemon standing on the overworld, right?
Unlike previous remakes such as
That site
Pokemon
there?
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the Diamond and Pearl remakes don't attempt to translate their older gameplay into the current generation. Instead, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl rewind the clock back to 2006, retaining the look and feel of the
That's not
original
entirely
DS
true.
games all the way down to the MIDI-like soundtrack.
That's definitely not true. I mean, the soundtrack, fine. But they're actually coming out with an experience share, which is party-wide, which is adapted to modern Pokemon to make it even easier.
With
So,
online social elements like the wild areas and raids. By comparison, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are very much a nostalgia trip. It even brings back the old Union Room, a kind of visual lobby system introduced
yeah,
back
okay,
in the
that's
days
that's a
of Pokemon
nostalgia
Fire
trip,
Red and
right?
Green
The Union
in
Room.
2004.
Hopefully, we do have
The
still
remakes
good
are
mechanics
aimed
for
to preserve the look and
distributions for
feel
you
of the
guys.
original games,
Giveaways.
and until I saw Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in action, I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Actually
Returning
looks
to the
nice. I
overhead
actually
camera
genuinely
angle is
like
refreshing,
this
in some
appearance
ways
of the
bringing me
game.
all
I think
the
it's
way
really
back to
nice.
the days of Red and
Very
Blue on the
charming,
Game
cute.
Boy.
I really like the
Remakes,
Zelda one
Pokemon
too.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl
Link's
are, of
Awakening,
course,
the
loaded
remake
with
of that. That was
various odd
fantastic.
artifacts from the Nintendo DS era. Poffins can be created by using the touchscreen.
So the Poffins
Catch,
thing we saw
an
recently,
in-game device that
new
previously
stuff here.
lived on the DS's second screen, will now occupy the top corner of the Switch's screen if you wish, allowing you to easily check in on your Pokemon's friendship.
The Underworld, of
or
course,
hunt
which
for
has
items.
brand new stuff in there
This
as
was
well.
an era when the
It's
DS's
really cool.
touchscreen was still a fresh and novel concept, so lots of Diamond and Pearl's features make use of it in one way or another. From the screen tapping rhythm game of the Super Contest to the ability to
Hopefully there's
stickers
online
on the
rankings
balls.
or something.
Even
That'd
the
be
random
fun.
badge polishing mechanic returns in this one. That doesn't mean these are one-to-one remakes of the original game.
Definitely not.
Among other additions, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will feature the more robust version of Experience Share, meaning that XP
There
will
you
be
go.
doled out across the entire party.
So that's a
It will
new
also
feature
be
that makes
possible
games
to customize your
easier.
character's appearance.
People
With a
were
new shop
worried
in
about
Fieldstone City selling unique
the
outfits,
bosses,
and
like
Pokemon able to follow you
being
around with a
easier,
world map.
and I think that's going to be the
Notably,
case. I think
hidden
there's going to be an
machines
easier
or
version. So
ATMs
maybe
will
we're going to get a
be included in
Platinum
the
Cynthia,
but
for
will be handled
example.
slightly differently than before. Instead of teaching a monster a move that is then irritating to remove, a
I like these
wild
overworld
will appear to
Pokemon, though,
perform the
man.
action instead.
Looks cool.
It's a tweak that manages to preserve the spirit of the original system while removing much of the hassle. Probably the biggest change is the Grand Underground, a series of tunnels where you mine items and build secret bases.
This is going to be
In
fun.
addition to
I
supporting
never really
online
got to
play,
enjoy
it will
this
feature biomes
properly because I
filled
never
with
played this
special
game in its
on-screen
peak
Pokemon
during
that
its
are
time.
influenced by statues you put in your base. It's here that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl come closest to matching the current generation games, but its approach is still firmly
Oh man,
grounded
this
in
game
the
is going to be
originals.
rife with
All of this
exploits,
makes
folks.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond
I
and
cannot
Shining
wait to
Pearl
see what we
seem
can
like
do with
much
this.
more sophisticated remakes than they first appear, and it makes me all the more excited to head back to the Sinnoh region. Mostly though, I'm just glad to have Chimchar back at my side after all these years. Welcome
Okay.
back, buddy. It's been far too long. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be out November 19th on Nintendo Switch. There's lots more Pokemon coverage on the site, and
Man,
for everything
a little
else
over
you
a
need to
month
know
to
about
go,
the rest of the
guys.
video game world,
Just a
stay
month.
with IGN.
All right, next up is the Game Explain one. All right, next up is the Game Explain one, guys. They have 14 minutes.
Yep, just
That's a lot.
All right, so
I love this music,
tell us,
though.
what exactly did you get
great.
to see of the game in that time, or what did they show you exactly?
I hope they're not talking
So
for 14
the
minutes,
30
though.
minutes were mostly spent on the different.
So they got to
features
play
of
for
the game that
30
they had
minutes.
revealed to
That's
us
clear.
in the last few trailers.
30 minutes.
So we
This
got
is
a better look
14
at the
minutes
Grand
video.
Underground. We got to look at the super contests, making Poffins, because that's like everyone's favorite thing in Gen 4. The Amity Square, so you can like walk around with your Pokemon, and then just general gameplay otherwise. But we didn't have that before, so I mean, this is nice, honestly.
Yeah, this was our first.
It looks
real
really
look
clean.
at the game. So what was it
I
like
know they
seeing it,
cannot
in this
do
extended trailer?
AAA Sony style.
So it's kind of funny
But
because
the cute,
with
clean,
each trailer we've had for the game,
simplified,
so far, you look at it,
it
and
looks
it's
nice
yeah,
like that.
They're
It
definitely
works.
adapting
It works.
the Sinnoh region or Pokemon Gen 4 really nicely. But then you actually get to see gameplay, not just a trailer for it. And it just brought me back, like those memories of like 15 years ago now.
Like
I felt like I
I've
was
almost
jumping
no
right back
memories
into
to
it.
this game because
And
I played
you know
it
the whole thing
once
of, like, when you
in
look
a
at
sort of
something
quick
from so long
playthrough.
ago, and
And
remake,
I
like,
can't
wow, this
wait.
is
I'm
what
gonna
I
be
imagined
pretty
it looked
much
like back
experiencing
then,
this
but
for the
you
first
didn't
time.
realize what it looked like before.
Almost.
Yeah, that's how I felt with this. It's such a faithful,
Totally different to
recreation
what
of
this
the
guy's
style
talking about.
into like a nice 3D setting that it really made me think like this is what I imagined the game looking like back then. It just looked really nice. And obviously, there's changes on top of that were apparent as we
Right,
went
so your
through, but
memory
it really perfectly
compensates
invokes
for the reality that
nostalgia
you
of
have
the
when you
old
enjoy
games.
something. You imagine
Yeah, that's
something
awesome.
or you
Yeah,
remember
I do
something
know, some
nicer
people,
than it really
when it
is.
comes to
So
remakes, people are always going to be, hypercritical or
Right.
hyper into it. Like it feels like there's a little middle ground between the two. And the art style in this case,
some of the same footage from
some people
IGN,
have-
by the way,
have
you
taken some
might
issues
notice
with.
here.
But did
It's
you
interesting.
have any concerns yourself that were assuaged by seeing it in this extended preview now?
I think the only real concern I has, well, I guess concerns if in quotes, because it wasn't really major concerns, but it come up in previous discussions we had done of wondering how faithful these remakes would be. Are they going to be like purely one-to-one, or are they really?
We know
gonna
that's not the
go
case.
with
We know it's
quality
not
of life
one-to-one
updates
already.
to enhance the experience.
We've seen
on
some
top
new
of
stuff in there.
recapturing the older experience, and we definitely got to see a good amount of quality life updates to it, which made me feel pretty happy, honestly.
Okay, great. So I guess what
There's
what
the
feature
statue
excites
footage.
you the most?
It's interesting. I mean, it really feels like these media companies are just given footage. Not always given 30 minutes to play, but just given footage, and they just have to use it and pretend they played the game. That's really what it seems like. So I'm really curious.
Gen 4,
Did these people
there's a lot that I
really
liked
play the
about it
game?
originally, but take for example,
Because it can't be
contests.
both.
I
IGN
loved the contests
and
back in the
these
day,
guys
but
could
they were
not have
like
possibly played the
maybe 10
exact same
minutes per
footage,
session.
right?
They were long
It cannot be
mini
possible.
games. Now it's a lot faster. I think it took about 2 minutes at most to run through the entire thing. It's completely changed because now it's basically just a rhythm game.
That's
But
good.
it
That's good.
looks genuinely
It's good that they
pretty
would
fun.
shorten
I'm
that
actually really
down
excited
because
to
that might
do
be
that
too
with
bulky
friends.
if they made it longer.
That's one of the things I've been loving most about Pokemon games in recent years.
Rhythm game is cool though. That'd be nice.
Not just playing with friends and connecting with friends in general, but the different like mini games and different things you can do with friends, like the raids in not Sun and Moon, in Sword and Shield, for example.
Oh,
I love
saying
the
Sword and
different
Moon,
connectivity you
Sun
can
and
have
Moon.
with friends, and the fact that you can do the contests with friends and they're not terribly long anymore is really enticing.
Did you find out
Yeah,
much
I think
more about
shorter
the
is
online or
better
anything
these
that we
days
didn't know about
for some
it
things.
Before?
So it sounds like the online features are about the same as what they were for the original games back in the day on the DS, except obviously it runs
Interesting.
a lot better. No longer over Nintendo Wi-Fi connection.
Remember those days.
There's some changes, so obviously you could still
It hasn't gotten much better.
play with other players or like battle them or trade Pokemon as usual. You can do contests together. Sadly, you cannot make Poffins together anymore, which was just
Yeah, it's a little sad to hear after all your talk about.
That's a weird
working with
change.
friends and everything, and now
You're allowed to
we
make
find out a feature
Poffins
that
together
was
with friends.
multiplayer Originally, I believe, is
Yep.
now single player only.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So originally, and I
What
could
was
be
the
wrong
point
on
of
this, but
that?
Originally, you could connect with players, and it would let you make better Poffins by essentially each player could put in more berries. Then, so you would get you just get something better out of doing it multiplayer. Now you can just do that on your own. So functionally, it's the same, but
That's odd.
the teamwork aspect of it is gone, sadly.
So it's kind of simplified. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's a nice. To be fair, it's a quality of life improvement that's good because it means you don't need the multiplayer to get a good item. But it is sad that
I guess that's a fair point,
connectivity
actually.
behind that is gone.
I wouldn't like to have to require multiplayer
Well,
to get a
speaking
better
of
item, right?
connectivity in a way, in an in-game sense, I saw that you can apparently access your PC from anywhere. Is that?
That's a
new
quality of
feature?
life improvement that I'm really
So,
happy with that they brought in Sword and Shield. I
I
noticed.
don't remember which generation this was actually added in. It was 7 or 8, but in more recent Pokemon games, just when you open up the Pokemon menu, you can then access your
That's
PC
way
and
better,
press
I
up, like,
think.
the R or
Yeah,
Y
I think
button
that's
or
a lot
something.
better.
Easily kind of change up your party.
But it just makes the game
But
easier too.
Every
That's
time
the only
before
thing.
that, you always had to go to the Pokemon Center or home or somewhere to the PC to then boot it up and move
I
everything
mean,
around as you need
the
to.
fact
And
that it
this was
exists means we
obviously one of
cannot
the
just
games
not
originally that
use
did
it.
that, but now you don't need to. So now you
when
can
the games
boot
were a
up
little
the
harder, they
Pokemon
were a
menu,
little more
swap out your
engaging,
party as you
right?
need to.
When they
Makes
were
it
when we
very,
were
very
younger.
easy for those,
I don't know why they have to make
for
games
those
easier
who
and
like to get
easier
shiny
for
Pokemon
new
by hatching
kids coming in.
eggs. Instead of having to
I don't know
run
why.
everywhere, they could just easily swap everything out.
Yeah, so you're saying that appeals to you then, I'm guessing.
Yes. Very much so.
I mean, I'm down. I'm
Is
fine
there
with it.
anything
It doesn't
else,
bother
any
me
other,
at this
new
point.
key features you learned about from
I really wanted to hear some more
So,
online
the
about
Grand
like the
Underground a bit, 'cause
multiplayer
that was a
trades and
big thing
stuff.
that,
Doesn't look
when
like
we
we're gonna
saw
hear
in-
much about
there was
that.
a couple trailers back now.
We're gonna have to wait and see, guys.
Very
Soon.
similar, but also very changed from the original game, where functionally it's the same thing of you can go underground, you can connect with friends online, you can mine for materials, you can customize a secret base. But what they added now is there's these like hideaways where wild Pokemon can appear, and you actually see them in this overworld, more like
So that's
the
brand
Let's Go
new.
games,
That's
where you
been
have Sword and
added for the
Shield,
first time.
and then you can interact with them and then battle those Pokemon. So it's definitely like a nice addition.
Meeting
and
new
I believe it
Pokemon
seems
in
to
the
add
underground
Pokemon
like
you can't
that.
normally find.
It's gonna be really
across
nice.
Sinnoh.
Right, so this
At
is
the
also
same
giving
time,
rumors to a new
These
Dex.
are in like smaller
Decks that
like,
we have not had
sections,
in
so it's
either
not the
Platinum
entire underground like this.
or
So that is a major change. to it.
Diamond and Pearl,
But
the originals.
we did learn that.
Of course, Platinum's Dex was
I guess going
big.
back to
Was
the
that?
multiplayer
It wasn't a
connectivity,
national Dex, was it?
You
Oh my
can
god, it might have
still
been.
like play that with friends.
Well, you know, we might have hope
visit
for a
your
national
friends'
Dex on this
bases,
game.
But the
We might have hope for
the
national
mini game
Dex.
that came with that in the original games is gone. There was like a capture the
I
flag.
mean, up to a certain
feature
point,
originally,
sorry.
Because you can customize.
Don't
your
include
base,
Gen
you
8
can
on
add a
that.
flag to it. You can make like puzzles and like a little maze through your base.
Maybe everything
for
up till
other
Gen
players
4.
to kind of struggle to get the flag. But the capture the flag is gone, sadly.
That sounds
Dude,
epic.
they removed
tried
capture the
out
flag.
Most epic sounding feature.
No
where you make
way.
Your own, like capture the flag mazes and stuff.
Yeah, it's a little upsetting, unfortunately. I forget how you
Why
can
would they
stop
remove things like
the
that? I
other
have no idea.
players. Because I know if you're playing at the same time, because if you had them as friends, you can kind of visit their den whenever. But if you were playing at the same time, you can stop each other from stealing the flags. But I don't remember how exactly that worked, unfortunately. But now that's just
Maybe
gone.
that's why.
You can still visit. You can still visit the dens, but I think you can only really put.
So they are showing a lot of
statues in there now,
repeat footage in
and
here.
you can't
There's
really put, like,
very
specific
little.
decorations
Considering the
to
video's 14
other than
minutes,
Pokemon
it's
sets.
rather surprising
So it sounds
that they
like
just have
minus
very
the
limited
capture the
footage
flag
here.
gloss, this is overall a.
So I guess listening to what they
improvement
say
to how
is
it
the
works.
important part because they don't want to
in the
show
original
too
games,
much.
Unless you were
So that
explicitly
brings me
playing with
to
friends, there was
the
no real
conclusion that,
incentive
yeah,
to
okay,
go to the underground,
these journalists
but
got to
now
play
there's a
30
lot
minutes, but
more
they don't get to
because you
show
can use it to
much.
try to get
They
special
really don't get to show much,
Pokemon
but they're
or
allowed to talk about
different
it.
types of Pokemon that you're looking
Very
for.
limiting.
You can customize the base to
Very limiting.
to increase the chances of certain types appearing in the hideaways. So you can really like set your playing field basically and run to the underground as you want to and use it to catch even more Pokemon or get special items with the mining minigame, which is it looks pretty much identical, and I'm excited about that because I really like that mining minigame.
I never got to enjoy that one.
Speaking of the
Barely.
Pokemon themselves, is there anything different about the combat this time, or the capturing, or anything involving the Pokemon themselves that stood out to you from the extended play session? Or
It is very limited footage, though.
watching session, I guess. This is over a Zoom meeting, so
Yeah, viewing session. It seems pretty identical to what.
Yeah,
we've
it
come
looks
to expect
it looks what you'd
from,
expect
the
from
more
combat.
recent
Like I
Pokemon
don't think the
games.
combat's going to
The
be
UI actually
revolutionized in
looks
any
like a
particular
perfect
way.
upgrade of the original games, so it actually helps invoke that nostalgia feeling, because it looks like the classic UI, but kind of updated to a modern look. And it still has like the clean, accessible features of
The animations look a lot
So,
clear
like,
than Sword and Shield,
if
which
you
is something I'm going to
register
point
a
out because
Pokemon in your Pokédex
they are
and
different
then you go to
companies that
fight
made
the same
this
kind of
and Sword
Pokemon
and Shield.
again, you'll see from your
These just
moves
look cleaner
what's
straight up, and of
effective,
course the graphics are going to
which
help
is
it
just
in
a
that
nice,
regard,
helpful feature.
which is good. It's a really good thing. It's also going to reduce the
And,
pressure on your games.
The original game didn't have an experience share, right? Or did it?
I think the original game had a specific item that you can put onto a Pokemon.
The original game
and
had an
that
experience
one
share, but it
Pokemon
was like the
gained some
old
extra
school
experience.
style.
I remember that, right?
But now it's the whole case of like more recent games. When you turn on the experience share, your whole party will get some percentage.
Yeah,
of
that's much
or some portion
easier.
of the EXP.
It's so much
The-
easier. You
the
get
one that was
tons
in
more
Battle
experience
Pokemon.
per
But
win.
thankfully, I think they said you can turn that off or on. So
okay.
Why would you turn it off,
Anything,
though? I mean,
are there any changes
why
or
would you?
changes to the story? Do you know at all, or?
So when we asked about the story,
Unless you're doing
they
a
very
Nuzlocke, of
specifically
course.
told us that this is a faithful recreation of the Diamond and Pearl games, but they can't tell us any more than that.
Interesting. So maybe faithful with additions?
Yeah, like it makes me feel like
That's weird.
I
That's
can't tell if
suspicious.
they're just not saying it because
Faithful?
it's a case of, well, there's a bunch of new people about to experience this game, or if that means there's actually changes.
I doubt
Yeah,
it.
I
I
wouldn't- yeah,
doubt
just to
there's
be
big
clear, I would not read
changes.
too much into that statement.
I
because
really
Nintendo,
strongly
hides
doubt
things
that.
when there's nothing to hide. So who
Yeah,
knows
right.
what
So
that means
Nintendo
in this
hides things
case.
when there's nothing to hide, like you said.
So I guess for you, in an overall sense, Tris, how was it like, revisiting this, revisiting it in a, having watched it, I guess. Are you more excited now to revisit it? Was there anything else that surprised you about it? And yeah, how excited are you to kind of get to go hands-on with it yourself at this point?
I'm definitely a lot more excited now that I've got to see it myself more than I was before. Because at this point, up until this point rather, most of my focus was put into Pokemon Legends, like all the coverage we were doing and all that. So I didn't get too
Man,
much
all
of a
these
chance
games
to
though, we're gonna
really,
be busy. This game
explore what's
next
going
month,
on with the Diamond and Pearl
and then
remakes
2 months
until
later,
this,
Legends
and
Arceus,
looking back at all the
bam,
trailers and such for it.
and then a month or two later,
I'm just really
Breath of the
excited
Wild
because
2.
I love these games growing
It's gonna be
up. These
so
are the games
busy.
that got me like
I can't
super
wait.
into Pokemon. Like I had already been playing the earlier gens.
I was a
before
Gen
this,
1er.
I don't know.
And I
what it was
played
about
Gen
Diamond and
2.
Pearl, but those
I
were the
never
ones
played
that
3, 4,
really
5, or
hooked me in, and I
6
put, like, several
until
hundred hours
last
into
year
them
when I
growing
did
up.
one quick playthrough
So
on
it's-
YouTube.
It's definitely an exciting.
I
feeling knowing
came
that
back
these are
with
about a
7,
month
and
away
I
now.
streamed 7
Yeah, November 19th.
a
so
long
not
time
far
ago.
away at all.
And then
There's so
we
many
started doing
games
videos on
this is
YouTube with
two.
8. And here we are.
Basically
I'm
two
going to
games
really
on
look look
November
forward to
19th.
doing this game because
This
game is gonna be like almost a fresh
any final
experience
things
for
you
me.
wanna leave our audience with, Tris,
gonna be
before we
great.
fully wrap it up here about this game. Anything else that stood out to you, or any other final thoughts?
I addressed this in our 6 details we learned, but learning that Amity Square specifically
We haven't seen
restricts
that,
you to
right?
cute Pokemon was really funny. And when I was narrating that video, my husband jumped up and goes, "How can you do that?"
you're only allowed to have
Who
cute
is to judge
Pokemon.
what is a cute Pokemon?
Right,
or not?
right. I want to bring my
Exactly.
Tyranitar out.
That's what was really funny about it. I just had to make sure that got said because that had me cracking
the
up in the
world?
middle of my recording.
That's weird.
That's
What,
pretty
what's the
funny.
limiter on that? Like how many?
So is that
How many
everything?
Pokemon
then,
can
Tris?
use?
Is that everything you have to
Oh,
share
here we
with us
go.
from your 30 minutes of watch viewing time with this game?
And there they go,
Yeah,
some
I think
cute
so, 'cause They
Pokemon.
mostly showed us things that
What
we've
about when
already
they
seen
evolve?
from the
They don't become
trailers we
quite
have
as
up to
cute.
this point. And I'm sure there's plenty other new things to look into, but this preview event was mainly meant to give us a look at, or rather, an in-game look at what we've already had advertised to us in trailers. And I gotta say, I'm really excited for it. Now that I've actually got to see a lot more, I'm really excited.
So
to
no
come back
new
to
big
this game
reveals,
and
just
just in
the
a
30
region in
minutes
general and
experience
see,
of what we've already
what
seen
has
and
and
known. Of
hasn't
course,
changed
as you guys
since
might know,
previous.
30 minutes is not a lot of time to just play through
To
Pokemon.
that point,
And also,
how
Pat
did
Tap for the
music sound?
join there. Thank you very much.
15 years since you heard the last.
It honestly sounds really nice.
So the music
I
is
don't
still
know if
good.
Every single song in the game is remixed, obviously, because we haven't heard enough to know that. But everything we have heard does sound really nice, and I'm looking forward to seeing how, like Cynthia's theme, the Champion's theme, is completely.
Oh,
remixed, because
yeah.
That's become like a Pokemon.
It's gonna be
classic.
fun.
Yeah, it's in Smash Brothers.
I managed to beat
Yep.
Cynthia
Yep.
first
Okay,
try,
there we go.
blind, never done before. That was great.
Obviously
What an
classic.
experience.
All right, everyone, that is our preview of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
All right, that's it.
Pearl. So
For Game
Tris, thanks for
Explains,
sharing your thoughts
down
about the
low
game,
with everything
about
that they
the game
learned
so
and everything
far
they've heard
as
and
we
spoke
approach
about.
this November 19th release date.
What do you
It's not
make
that
of that?
far away. If you want even more details about the game, make sure to check out.
Very, very interesting stuff. Nothing new, like we said, but a lot of interesting, juicy details thrown on there. And some new footage as well to delve into. Of course, they did really drag it out in a 14-minute video. It was basically just an interview with a limited number, about 4 minutes of gameplay as we saw from the IGN video. But still pretty cool to get this nonetheless. Preview already a month ahead. What do you make of it? Which game are you getting? I'm going to get Brilliant Diamond. If you guys want to join me, get Brilliant Diamond. I think most people are going to get... I don't know. Actually, I don't know what most people are going to get. But either way, guys, it's one or the other. And it shouldn't matter. Just get one of them or whatever. And I'm going to get one of them. I'm not going to get both. So either way, we're going to be able to try and do giveaways like we usually do on Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're going to see if we can do them efficiently and mass distributions in these games. Because there's quite a few new Pokemon to do. We've got quite a few shiny mythicals that we can do that were not in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Darkrai, Manaphy, and the pre-evolution Peony, I think. Deoxys are in there too. Arceus is shiny shiny legally, as well as Shaman. There's everything in there. So we're going to be able to do those juicer giveaways. And we are getting new bots for the distributions too, which should be up and running in about a week or 2 weeks as well. Guys, thanks for watching this. Do feel free to check out my previous Pokemon news, which was earlier today. I'll leave it up here. And we currently have a giveaway going for Gen 1 birds, as well as the Mewtwo from the Nintendo Hong Kong event, which is ongoing right now on my channel. Please do check out my old videos, recent videos, for those from this week. I'll see you guys around in the next one. Till then, guys, bye!